All right, welcome back to House of Prep. My name's Jerry. Today we're going to talk about get home bags. You can call them bug out bags. You can call them emergency grab and go bags. Lots of purposes for them. First of all, you just want to get a backpack, something that's comfortable, something that you can use based on your scenario. For my scenario, I don't work too far away from home, so I'm not going to need a lot of things to put in my backpack. I can have a small backpack. I don't have to have a very large one. You want it to be lightweight and mobile as possible, okay? Make it simple. Make it practical. Think about the distance from where you mostly commute to. Whether it's going to visit family on a weekly basis, maybe it's an hour drive. Maybe you have an hour commute. Now to try to imagine making that on foot. Think of the different weather conditions you might face or endure. Think of the different reasons why you would have to abandon your vehicle and why you would need to be able to track on foot to begin with. Now, you're exposed when you do that. You put yourself out there. There's some security issues when you do that. But you need to start thinking ahead. Think of different reasons. Now, I could tell you a few right off the top of my head. When I used to live in Florida, back in hurricane season, I remember in the Jacksonville, Florida area, this has been some years ago, everyone was told to evacuate. And everybody did, and they jammed up the interstates like a parking lot. Couldn't move. Once they realized the storm was going to head north, like most of them end up doing, and missing the coast and just kind of getting a little bit of wind and rain, that's it. People wanted to go home, but they couldn't because they were trapped on the interstates. Perfect example of having an emergency bag, whether they use that to go on foot or if they decide they have to stay in their car and stay in their car for the 2 days that it took for people to finally clear out so they could get home. So just different reasons. Snowstorms, EMP attacks, worst case scenarios. There's all kinds of reasons. We can go on, and feel free to jump in the comments. That's what they're there for. They're there for ideas, for open discussion. So please jump in the comments and at any time about anything about this, and we'll have a good conversation and maybe learn some things. Right? Obviously, there's no way I can address everything in an 8 to 12 minute video. It's just not going to happen. All right, first thing you need to do, look, we're heading into summertime. Some of you are still on the tail end of winter. I've heard stories off and on. You're still getting a couple last-minute snowstorms, I think. Maybe that's done by now. That was maybe a couple weeks ago I heard that. But your winter gear, all right, your hat. I have them shoved in, my gloves inside. For us here in Tennessee, this is done. Let's get rid of that. Don't need the heavy stuff, okay? So that's just clogging up space. Any heavy coats or big, thick blankets that maybe you're just taking up room in your trunk of your car, get rid of. Now, there are things that you're going to keep in your car, things like maybe jumper cables, a med kit. A med kit can be separate from your bag. If you have a small one, maybe that would fit great in your bag, so you could just take it with you. You may keep a separate kit in your trunk, and that's fine. You organize it the best that fits you and your family's situation. You may have other things that you keep in the trunk, and that can be considered part of your plan. But for things that you put in your bag, so we got rid of some winter clothes and things. Now you may want to hang on to like rain gear, because let's say you had to travel on foot, you had to get out. Look, even if you had to change a tire, okay, having some rain gear on hand. If you're by yourself, how are you going to hold that umbrella and change the tire at the same time? It's just not going to happen, okay? You're going to be out there a long time if you try to do that. But having some extra rain jacket, maybe a rain hat, some things you can, maybe a rain boot, something you can kind of change into, keeping a little kit in the trunk of your vehicle would be a great idea to have. If you're accustomed, maybe for your job or for just when you're out shopping or things, everyone likes to dress cute, right? So you wear the sandals and the shoes that aren't necessarily great for walking. Maybe they're heels, maybe they're guys' dress shoes, sandals, things. But if you had to travel on foot for a day, do you want to be in those type of shoes for that emergency get home evacuation plan from your car? No, you don't want to have an extra. Make sure you have at least one good pair of shoes for yourself, and if you have other people that travel with you, That may mean you have to have some out of your closet and keep them in the trunk of your car. But man, what a game changer to have a good pair of shoes to be able to head off. Having a great backpack full of supplies isn't going to do you no good if if you're struggling and you're getting blisters. The elements are getting to your feet. Bugs, critters, whatever else. Maybe having some extra good bug spray or something if you have to travel more than just a few miles. If you end up having a half a day or a full day of traveling on foot, having some good bug spray or some bug lotion or whatever it is that you like to use, something to help just keep things off you. You want to be as comfortable as you can. You're going to be in enough stress and enough anxiety going on dealing with that. Having an extra charger with you. I tell you what, these little power bank chargers, I've had these. This is an iFrog's. I've had this thing forever. Let's see. Still got 4 bars. I can't tell you the last time I've plugged this in to charge it. I keep this in my get home bag, and you can see it's full bars. It's probably been in there for a couple years, and it just holds a charge. It's incredible. I have another one of these I used. I pulled out for a graduation we attended this past week, and same thing. It had 4 bars, and I ended up using it. And make sure you have one for your phone. I have one that I can hook up a couple different devices at the same time. I think I could get probably 3 or 4 good charges of a phone that's dead and back up to 100% with one of these power banks. So having a good, reliable source of power for your cell phone, especially if you're going to be on the road in an emergency situation, if you still have cell service, that's going to be communication is going to be a vital part of your little collection here. Having some kind of water. I would say that this is going to be a high on your list. I have a small bottle because, again, I don't have a long way to walk. But if it's in the middle of summer, having a little liquid which you can kind of sip on as you're walking will go a long way for your own personal morale, for the encouragement to keep going. And, again, you're going to be in enough stressful situation more than likely that dehydration will just add. That'll be your biggest problem at that point in the middle of summer is dehydration. If I'm going on a longer trip for some reason or going to be visiting somebody that's further away than what I'm normally traveling, I'll go ahead and I have a little cooler and I go ahead and put ice packs in it, and I'll throw 2 or 3 full-size water bottles in there just to have for the trip. And then if I have an emergency problem, I'll have plenty of water on hand. But this makes it lightweight. Again, I'm looking for comfort and carrying, and I want to be lightweight and mobile. I'm not trying to pack a ton of stuff. You could go with beef jerky. I have 2 thin, very lightweight tuna packs, 2 forks. That way if I have somebody with me, we both have a little snack or something. Or for me, if I'm traveling and maybe I'm a little bit further away than normal, and it maybe emergencies don't make appointments. Okay, I don't like missing a meal. If you know me well at all, any of you, House of Prep likes to eat. So if emergency happens and look, you miss lunch, I'm going to need more than one of these just to, again, there's going to be enough going on. Having some semi-full belly, a little bit of protein, it's going to go a long way. It's going to help encourage your body to keep moving no matter what the obstacle is, give you the energy that you need. I like to always keep, they're lightweight and they're just easy. For some reason, again, emergencies don't make appointments. That if it happens in the middle of the night, I just have a couple glow sticks. If I have, a run-in, if I have kids, I want to mark them so I don't lose track of them. Again, you might be in a crowd of people, right? Let's say you're in one of those major highways and everybody starts to get on foot for some reason, and you have small kids with you, and you just want to put an extra, tie a light around their waist or something, just something extra that you can keep a close eye on them. Again, these are just outside the box ideas. You can use these for anything, okay? For extra light, if you have to make a quick campsite or for whatever. Flashlight, okay? You can keep a couple of these in your go bag. Extra batteries are fine. Again, I look for lightweight. These are super lightweight, just a small, nothing fancy. But just to have something that's reliable, to have plenty of light. That again, if it's at night and you're going to be traveling through the darkness, you want to have something to give you into good assistance. I always keep just a few extra meds on hand. Look, allergy medicine can go a long way. If you're outside, you're traveling, maybe you cut through the woods, whether it's Benadryl or your, Sudafeds or Zyrtec or whatever your Claritin, whatever your allergy pills, maybe a couple extra blood pressure medicines. Again, if you have to stay out for a night or two, maybe if you're used to having your heart medication, whatever it is for you personally, an inhaler, whatever, having some backup emergency meds to help with an already stressful situation will help alleviate some of your discomfort. Having a backup mag, okay? If you have a personal carry and maybe you keep it on you, you have it in your glove box, whatever it is at the time, and obviously you're going to have it on you at the time of extraction when you're leaving your vehicle or wherever it is you're leaving and you're trying to make it home, have an extra mag or two, okay? Again, it adds a little bit of weight, but when you're exposed like that, you're no longer in a four-wall situation. There's going to be a lot of other people around you that are also facing a lot of anxiety, panic possibly, and maybe not making the best of decisions. So giving yourself some sort of a protection item, some people like pepper spray and things, whatever it is that you personally believe in and having, I highly recommend having something to give you that equalizing factor. If you come up on a person or multiple people, something that's going to help equal the playing field. Okay, those are just the realities of time. But sometimes you don't like to talk about it. Having a good knife, a pocket knife. I keep an extra. This one's a Gerber, just a good quality knife, something that you could use for a quick, getting some branches, cutting some cord. If you had to spend the night out as you're trying to track to get back home with your get home bag, having a knife or two. I always usually I have a personal carry on me, but I have this in the bag, and then I always keep another one in the bag, just a real small. For some reason, if I didn't bring another pocket knife, or if you have somebody with you, just another small multi-purpose knife, just for cutting things, for having to keep on your person. Just what a great tool. Okay, now I'm looking through here. If you are traveling and you're like, okay, it's going to take me a day or two to get home on foot, having a ferro rod. Somebody made this one for me, so it was pretty cool. I keep it in my bug out bag, so you make a spark, or just some cheap matches. Keep them zipped up unless you use the waterproof matches. But again, if it's raining and stuff, you just want to have a couple means of starting a fire. Super cheap. Get you a toilet paper roll, and you can, I got a double bag to keep it dry. Toilet paper roll, and just shove it with dryer lamp. Okay, great fire starter. Okay, super easy, and I got plenty of dryer lamp, and just helps you with that spark if you're using your ferro rod or the lighter or the matches, whatever you're using. It just helps if you're out, especially in a wet environment, and you're just trying to get a small fire started. Having some tissue, a small roll of toilet paper, again, keep it dry. Just something for while you're out. It's super lightweight, and if you have the space for it, depending on your setup and what you're doing. I have a fork, knife, and spoon, just super light, just a thin utensils. Again, if I'm packing something extra, maybe some freeze-dry food, if it looks like I'm going to be a little bit longer of a trip, or an MRE or something. Again, they take up space, so you just have to decide your trip and how you're going to tackle it, okay? Having a little bit larger of a wood cutting tool, just a fold saw. This one, nothing super fancy because I don't use it on a normal basis. It's just for a quick cutting some small branches, right? Just to get you through 1 or 2 nights, okay? And that's just an option. If you are going to be like laying out in the woods and things like that, having just a zip, I have a little small, just a blanket, something that you can fold up, use as a pillow, or just to cover yourself up to keep the bugs off and things while you're trying to maybe catch a few Z's or something. If you're with a kid or something, then they might help them, yeah. So, but just little things you can toss in the trunk of your car, and you just don't know what you're going to need. If you're going on a little bit longer of a stay out, grabbing a small thing of peanut butter and just tossing it in your bag for the day or two. Now, again, whatever you put in your truck or your car or anything, just remember, super hot summertime, the inside your car will be well over 100 degrees and it'll be cooking everything. So if you're putting any type of foods or things, monitor, don't keep things in there for a long period, extended time, or rotate, because your quality of things will deteriorate very quickly in super high heat conditions. Okay. A pack of cards, super lightweight, and it's just there's little pockets inside, just boop, pop it in. Again, if you're with your family or a group and you're going to be a day or two out trying to get back home, sometimes having something the kids can play or do just to kind of keep the situation going. So look, we're hitting on 16 minutes, so I'm going to wrap up here. These are just great ideas, just different little things. Again, you can custom it to your situation and depending on the length of time it's going to take you to meet your needs. If it's an emergency bag to get out of Dodge, what about all those forest fires out west we saw these last couple of years? People had literally minutes notice. They were saying you need to evacuate now. Having a bag prepared close to maybe your garage door or somewhere, maybe copies of all your important documents tucked in, just something where you could grab it and go, okay? And just having some basic things, some basic necessities with you can go a long way. So that's it. Just a reminder. Just wanted to make sure you guys are considering updating your different bags that you keep with you. And you all have a great rest of the day. And as we're starting off this new week, I hope you guys are having a great one. All right. Bye now.